Alexander the Great's conquests stretched from Greece to India, creating an empire that never had the chance to flourish. His military genius was unparalleled, yet his constant quest for more led him to an untimely death. His soldiers, loyal and weary, stood by him until his last breath. Even as they mourned, they understood the price of such ambition. Alexander's legacy was one of unrelenting conquest, but it is also marked by the fleeting nature of power, as his empire quickly fractured after his death. Attila the Hun, feared by both the Roman Empire and his own people, is remembered as one of the greatest military leaders of all time. His ruthless campaigns across Europe struck terror into the hearts of kings and emperors. Yet, Attila's strength was not in his cruelty alone, but in his ability to unite disparate tribes into a formidable fighting force. His death at the age of 47, likely from a simple nosebleed, was as sudden as it was anticlimactic. Attila's empire crumbled after his passing, and he was buried in an unmarked grave. Genghis Khan's name still strikes fear in the hearts of many. A warrior king who built the largest contiguous empire in history, he ruled with absolute authority. His armies were feared, his tactics brilliant, and his legacy untouchable. But Genghis Khan's rise was not without pain. His early life was filled with hardship, surviving as an orphan before uniting the Mongol tribes. His legacy is both one of military triumph and the brutal cost of his ambitions, leaving a trail of devastation behind him. Geronimo was a leader and medicine man of the Apache tribe who fought to protect his people from the encroaching forces of the United States. His defiance against the U.S. military made him a symbol of resistance and freedom. Yet Geronimo's later years were spent in captivity, far from his homeland, as his people were forcibly relocated to reservations. His name is synonymous with resistance, but his life also reflects the tragic fate of Native Americans in the face of expansionist aggression. Hernan Cortés's conquest of the Aztec Empire stands as one of the most shocking episodes in history. Armed with a small army and an unwavering belief in his mission, Cortés overthrew one of the largest civilizations in the world. Yet his victory was marred by cruelty, betrayal, and the destruction of a once great empire. Cortés's name remains synonymous with both bravery and brutality, a reminder of how ambition can shape and destroy civilizations. Joan of Arc's courage was undeniable as she led the French army to victory in the 100 Years' War. A peasant girl with visions of saints, she defied all expectations and was elevated to the position of national hero. Yet, her life was cut short when she was captured and burned at the stake by her enemies. Joan's legend lives on, but her story is one of tragic martyrdom, her voice silenced too soon. Yet, her spirit inspired generations. Napoleon Bonaparte's rise from humble origins to Emperor of France is one of the most extraordinary stories of military conquest. He changed the course of European history with his military tactics and reforms. Yet, his hubris and desire for absolute power ultimately led to his downfall. Defeated at Waterloo and exiled to St. Helena, Napoleon died in obscurity, far from the grandeur he once enjoyed. His life, filled with triumphs and defeats, reminds us that power can be both fleeting and devastating. Richard the Lionheart, King of England, earned his moniker through his valor in the Third Crusade. He was a warrior king, more at home on the battlefield than in the halls of his own court. Yet, despite his victories, Richard's reign was marked by political instability and personal sacrifice. He spent more time fighting abroad than ruling his kingdom. In the end, he died from an injury sustained during a siege, his life cut short by the very wars he sought to win. Spartacus, the leader of a slave revolt against the Roman Empire, became a symbol of resistance against tyranny. His gladiatorial combat skills and tactical brilliance led an army of thousands in a fight for freedom. Yet, despite his fierce resolve, Spartacus was betrayed by his own. His death in battle was not the end of his legend, however. His name lives on as a symbol of defiance, but his story is one of tragic sacrifice, as he gave everything in the pursuit of freedom, only to lose everything in the end. William Wallace, a towering figure in Scottish history, led a rebellion against the English crown. His courage and determination made him a symbol of Scottish independence. But his life was not one of victory. Wallace was captured, tortured, and executed by the English. His body was mutilated, yet his spirit remains immortal in the hearts of the Scottish people. Wallace's death did not defeat his cause. His sacrifice made him a martyr for freedom.